question that often comes up among podcasters is, what's the ideal length for a podcast? It depends. There isn't actually a right answer to this, but there are common practices you can look at and consider. According to one study, the average length for all podcasts is around 43 minutes. However, the average can vary quite a bit depending on the topic. Podcasts around pop culture interests like TV, film, music, and video games tend to fall around the 50 to 70 minute range. Podcasts on education, business, and government tend to be in the 20 to 30 minute range. There are some podcasts that stick to a 60-minute format like This American Life because they also air on radio and the show fits more neatly on the schedule that way. However, one of the most popular podcasts in the world right now, The Joe Rogan Experience, regularly stretches 2 to 3 hours long. On the other end of the spectrum, another popular podcast, Song Exploder, tends to be very concise with the editing and typically runs 10 to 15 minutes. If it's helpful to you, create a target time to shoot for so that you can prepare for approximately the correct level of depth you feel is right for your audience. This doesn't have to be a set in stone number, but it might help your listeners if they have a ballpark idea of what to expect. It might also be helpful for your guests and co-hosts to know how much information or stories to prepare for when it's time to record. In short, make your podcast as long as it needs to be to say what you need to say, but never let it get boring. Consider whether or not to set a target length for most of your episodes. If so, write it down.